Within. I was born into a religion. Pentecostal buildings is all I remember, full of Bible readings and talks of sinning. Right after my 8th grade year, my family started going to C&S, Cherubim and Seraphim, Christ Temple, Ione number 2 in Chicago, just to be specific. The methods of teaching here felt somewhat different from what I had grown accustomed to. Here, I felt the religion on a more spiritual level. There were more talks of enlightenment and less talks of the devil. My prayers went from, Lord, kill my enemies, to, Lord, please strengthen me. But growing up in church was still super tough. No matter what, I felt like I was constrained to rules. And according to King Solomon, there were specific things I had to do in order to no longer be considered a fool. And Proverbs also taught me that I couldn't be in the midst of those who society considered cool. But right before I went off to school, I abandoned the idea of religion. I convinced myself that all I needed was myself, and that if I stuck to my personal beliefs, then all would be well. The only Alpha and Omega I began to know were the men of Alpha Phi Alpha and the Qs. Oh, how I was confused. At first, everything was going smooth. I could speak something into existence and rely on the universe to reciprocate this energy. I was no longer focused on an enemy, but rather on the inner me. Soon, I realized that I had been telling myself lies, because the power that abides within me wasn't solely because of myself, but because of the God that resides. I said the power that abides within me wasn't solely because of myself, but because of the God that resides. I wasn't going to church, and my heart began to hurt. No matter what I told myself, I could feel this void. My mind was empty without my precious God. So one day during the first semester, I called onto God, unsure of what to call him. And based on how long it had been, I felt like a fraud. No longer aware of my Father, but I had drawn so far away, and if I continued to go down the path I was going down, I would only go farther. And of course, he was there to answer. So, what exactly did college teach me? Well, so far, I need God. He is my rock and the light. And whenever I feel myself giving up, he will take control of my fights. Do not follow the ways of the world, for this is not our home. And I am forever grateful because although friends and family may forsake me, the Lord God Almighty shall never leave me alone.